Rockets absolutely dominate the Bulls tonight with a 143-107 victory tonight. Hey Rockets fans, I'm Greg Post and welcome to Post Game Pulse. Tonight we got us a fantastic victory from our beloved Rockets. Let's get into it tonight and discuss the absolute dismantling of the Bulls. Let's get in it. So, looking for our 5th win in a row. The Rockets were just trying to continue the momentum that we seem to be building for this young season. Looks like we got off to a good start tonight with scores from Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Fred VanVleet, and Alperen Sengun. Honestly, it was good to see Jalen with an early make. He seems to be a big-time rhythm player. Even though tonight was not one of his best games, he did finish with 18 points, but he only played, I think, around 23 minutes. Not one of the games where Ime needed to rely on him heavy minutes, but we'll get into more of that, why Jalen and so many other starters didn't play so many minutes. Dylan Brooks had a couple early buckets. Fred VanVleet set a really great pick that freed up Alpi and opened up a lane from the key, and he just drove the paint and just had a mega slam dunk. It really kind of, those plays early kind of set the tone for the Rockets. It seems like Fred VanVleet is sending the Fred VanVleet to Sengun inside out game is starting to really show. I think that is becoming a bread and butter thing for the Rockets. We're going to see more of that as the season progresses. The guys have been active passers, working through Sengun and either working down low or dishing it back out to the open perimeter. But overall, it seems like a good start for the guys. It's kind of around halfway through the first. We're only up by 1, but it seems like the Bulls have a really good energy, and they're trying to match the energy of the Rockets, and they're kind of hanging around. Rockets end up going through one of those, unfortunately, traditional stretches that we're seeing every single game where we can't get anything generated, and the Rockets allowing the Bulls to get into their offensive sets and leading to good shots for the Bulls. Like I said, the Bulls were starting to hang around. Rockets up by 1 at the end of the first. And the energy isn't quite the same level it's been over the last few games. Bulls have seemed to bring the energy, pairing that with a scoreless stretch from the Rockets. And it's kind of how we ended up with this 1-point lead for ourselves. We get to see the Terra Twins kind of come in around that time, and it looks like Amen is really attacking the lanes right now. I love to see him. He had multiple drives, whether he was just kind of going up and under or just going through just a slight opening. He's very shifty, and as his handles get better and better, his pure athleticism is shining in these moments. I think it's the more and more we find him exposing himself to this role, we're going to truly benefit from it. Let's see. But yet the Bulls are kind of hanging around. I'm now almost every single game, Rockets fans are getting a little taste of the Terra Twins in some form or fashion. But we're getting used to every single game seeing some type of highlight where it's Tari Eason either with the block or a swat or a steal, and it's leading to an Amen Thompson just yam on the other side. Both of their anticipation is just very special, and as soon as someone gets the ball, Amen is just down the court, guns blazing. It's really, really fun to see. Fred VanVleet with 6 straight points. He seems to notice when the Rockets are kind of getting in those little lulls, and I'm glad as a the veteran that he is, can kind of see those moments and become the scorer when needed. Clearly, this is going to be a different transitional year for him and the Rockets, where he's used to being the leader. Well, he's still a leader, but being the floor general, and it's kind of passing the keys to the younger guys. So, but Fred still knows those moments where he needs to kind of step up and be the scorer instead of just the facilitator. But he is still facilitating well. Also tonight, apparently Fred is from that area, or I believe he's from the area, but he had a lot of friends and family in attendance, and I bet he was looking to have a good game with so many people there to root him on. So I bet you he was wanting to do well. But Rockets started to create some separation. Şengün had a really low block spin for an easy bucket. He's just a master of just flow sometimes, and just depending at leaning on certain directions, and when he feels that shift of weight, whether someone is trying to just deny him the block, and he just feels that pressure and just rolls the other way or goes back and forth until he finds the opening, and he's pretty smooth with it. Keep it up, man. That's awesome. Fred is now feeling at this point. There's times where I think we, as the Rockets, just started to notice that the Bulls defense was just kind of not pressuring a whole lot as he was bringing the ball up. And so he kind of, in a way, kind of how Peyton Manning back in the day would just take what the defense would give him, just dink and dunk here and there. So he would press and step up, take shots, or drive the lane, dish it out. And so he was feeling it. So whenever he's bringing up the ball and no one makes any pressure on him, and he either takes a shot or makes his way around a Şengün pick. So he's taking what the defense is giving and being aggressive. I like to see that. When he is hot, the defenses start collapsing on him, and that opens even more shots for the other guys. And so the offense is starting to really flow well at this point. Dillon Brooks is just having another great game. He's spending a lot of time. He's always been the primary defender, and I think one of the biggest differences that we're seeing from last year to this year is Dillon has some backup with Amin and Tari coming in to spell him sometimes on the primary defending, so he doesn't have to just be completely gassed by all defense. And so he's saving some room for some energy for the offensive side, and we're really seeing the benefit of that. His shot is falling, and what did he have? I can't remember what he had at halftime, but he finished the game with 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, shooting 7 of 13. I think that the more he's not having to spend the energy guarding the number one option, he's being able to be a factor on the offensive side. And just the more we're getting production from other people, especially when, we're not necessarily expecting them to carry the major load of offense. It's just we're benefiting from all this, and we've become unstoppable. So, anyways, 18 for Fred at halftime. Alpi with 12, 6, and 6, shooting 6 of 11. After a mediocre start of the games for the Rockets, they found themselves in a close battle with the Bulls in the first, with great energy from Chicago. Once the second quarter started and came around, the Rockets started to round into form, making good defensive stops and that led to fast breaks and good looks. Fred VanVleet, Dillon Brooks, and Alperen Şengün led the charge. Pairing that with the Terror Twins off the bench, it seems like the Rockets are finding a formula that is truly thriving. Rockets up at the half, big 68-52. We had 40 points. Oh man, my notes just went away. 40 points to 14, I believe. in the paint. 40-14 in the paint. That's just a massive difference. We had 15 points on the fast break to their 4. Rockets outscored the Bulls 41-25 in the second quarter and established their halftime lead. I mean, I'm glad that they didn't let a bad team hang around. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you're playing those teams and you let them hang around long enough, they start to believe that they have a shot, and it just kind of snowballs. And so it was cool to see us kind of create some separation. Rockets were shooting 54% from the field and holding the Bulls to 33%. Again, we keep on hearing over and over again, defense leads to offense, and Ime Udoka has a great game plan, and it seems to be coming into full form right now. So starting the third, we got to see what is possibly a new shot. I haven't seen it from him before. If any of you guys have saw the running flamingo shot that he had, that was pretty cool. Maybe he's done it before and I just haven't seen it. Let me know in the comments if one of y'all seen that before. But is that a new wrinkle for Alpi? Because he's one of the most creative shot makers in the NBA, and it's just another notch in the belt, or another whatever in the arsenal. You get what I'm saying. So offense is flowing and spreading the ball around to start the third, with Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks staying hot. Also buckets from Jalen Green and Alpi again. The Rockets extended their lead to 25 points. This has started becoming really fun as a Rockets fan. We're just moving the ball. When you are having those collapsing defenses, we're getting lots of swats, lots of blocks, just getting that hand in the passing lane and tipping passes, and kicking out, and everyone's either crashing the boards and pushing the pace, and wherever, offense, defense, it's awesome. And it's really fun to see. We've over the last few years, we've seen some moments where it's looked pretty bad, and so seeing glimpses. It wasn't just glimpses today. There were stretches of excellence from our Rockets on defense and offense. It was very exciting and promising. So smothering defense from the Rockets. Guys are showing great sleight of hand. Bulls showing no sign of resistance. Rockets end up extending their lead to 33 points. Honestly, guys, this is the best the starting unit has looked all season. Spectacular defense that's leading to great balanced offense. And what more could you ask for? In the beginning, over the last week or so, we've really saw the bench kind of rescue the team with the Terra Twins and whatnot. But over the last couple of games, we're really seeing the offense, or the starting lineup, just round into form. It's pretty cool to see. We eventually pull the starters with 2 minutes left in the third. Honestly, that's one of the earliest I've seen us do it. Earliest I've seen it in quite some time, on the positive way. I guess we've pulled some guys early on the flip side where we're losing the games, but Rockets up by 30 after 3. I honestly think it would be huge if the starters got some rest in the whole fourth quarter, especially since today was the first of a back-to-back, tomorrow with the Milwaukee game looming. But we end up getting the backups in. Bulls make a little push to start the fourth, which kind of pissed Ime off. But after a timeout, he kind of let the guys know what we got to get back on track. The backups went back after it, and the Rockets continued to dominate the rest of the way. It was cool to see Reed Shepherd looking for a shot and he made 4 threes tonight, including back-to-back possessions. you could tell that he was feeling it, and the Rockets continued to dominate the rest of the way. Um, I've touched on this on previous episodes of like when the bench goes crazy over whoever's making shots. I think it just speaks about how much these guys care for each other, and the work that everyone's putting in. Everyone's happy for each other to see success, and obviously it's when winning, everything's great, but I think it's special of what kind of team and camaraderie we have. So it's cool to see everyone celebrate other people. But man, if we can unlock his shot, we saw today why he was considered the best three-point shooter coming out of college. He shot over 50% from three at Kentucky. I mean, he's one of the greatest shooters coming out of college since, Steph Curry. And so I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I think he's going to have the career that Steph has. But I mean, man, it's just seeing him do these kind of things, gets the brain wondering what if scenarios and how high can these Rockets soar. So a little quiet of a night for Tari. He struggled with his shot, but he still had some effective moments on defense. I believe he finished with 4 points. But whenever the Bulls did make that little push, it looked like Amen Thompson stepped up to be the leader of the second unit, and he really had a couple great drives, penetrating the lane, making some sound passes. I feel like I touched on this earlier, but the more exposure and situations we get Amen into, I think the better the team will benefit from that more and more, and the less dependent and reliant we're going to have to be on Fred VanVleet. So keeping Fred fresh for the playoffs, and starting to use Amen and Reed Shepherd and Jalen Green, and moments of Şengün as the primary ball handler. I think the more we spread it out, the more we kind of diversify our offense and become, very hard to guard. And clearly we're becoming an elite defense, and the offense looks like it might be catching up, guys. That's exciting to see. We are oozing with talent. Let's see. So summary, the Bulls tried to match the Rockets' energy tonight, and they did that for about a quarter and maybe a few minutes. But the Rockets were about to flex one of their strengths tonight, which is overwhelming team defense that led to offense. The Rockets completely took the game over from that point, led by Fred VanVleet, dominating the Bulls to a 143-107 victory. Let me go over some key things that I saw tonight. It was a season high, 143 points, which is just insane. We shot 52% from the field tonight, 8 steals, 10 blocks. Both of those things led to 32 fast break points. 66 rebounds. What? We out-rebounded the Bulls by 19. 80 points in the paint, which was actually the 4th most in franchise history. Fred VanVleet, 28 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. Alpi with another triple-double, his second triple-double in a row. 20, 11, and 11. Shot 9 of 15 in only 25 minutes, not even playing the fourth quarter. Solid. Dylan Brooks with a solid 15, 3, 2, and 2. 2 of those steals were big steals throughout the game. Jalen, in only 23 minutes, had 18 points, 4 rebounds. Amen Thompson, I didn't put all of his stats in there. It's a sick line, too. What was it? 16 points. Bear with me. naturally. It's gonna reload. Almond Thompson had 16 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, a block. I mean, come on. It's pretty sweet to see all this coming together, guys. But Rockets win. I'm sorry. Before I get to the team, Reed Shepherd with 12 points, which are a career high for him, 4 of 5, and he had 3 blocks as well. 7 Rockets into double figures. Well balanced, guys. It was their 5th win in a row. Honestly, feel like if we continue to defend well, rebound well, and sharing the basketball, this could we could be in for a really special season, Rockets fans. There's signs of the offense really coming together and gelling well. Rockets players have really bought into the system that Ime Udoka has and the coaches have installed here. All the players are preaching coaches' philosophies, including Alpi, which he talked about in one of the pressers tonight. We really seem to be finding our way as a team and growing and becoming more of a complete team with every win in every game in general. So what a win tonight, guys. Very exciting time to be a Rockets fan. We got Milwaukee coming up to tomorrow. I believe it's in Milwaukee. I have a question for you guys. I want to know how you all are feeling about the Rockets this season and where you kind of see us going. Obviously, we have our expectations going into the year, but I thought we were going to be fighting for a playoff season or a playoff spot, maybe like 7-8 seed or something like that. Clearly, I possibly might be changing my expectations based on what I'm seeing, and I just want to know what you guys are thinking too. Should we readjust our expectations going into this year, or how do you feel about where we're going to be this year, guys? So hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to continue to bring y'all as much Houston sports content as I can. Thank you for the support I've received so far, and please give me a like and follow and subscribe. Post game pulse, I believe that's what we're gonna go with for all this. And I'm your host, Greg Post. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. I look forward to seeing y'all next time. All right.